Welcome to Mountain Valley HG with Chucky Boy and Tammy Joe, and it is day 10 of our Jessie Tree. And our ornament for today is wheat. Now, in our story today that comes from the entire book of Ruth, which is only 4 chapters, you'll understand why the wheat. Now, back in the day, there was a husband and wife who lived in the town of Bethlehem. And a famine came over the land, and the two of them decided that they would move on to a town of Moab, where they had food and things were going well. So they moved off to Moab, but unfortunately, in that land, they didn't follow God. They had a bunch of false gods in that land. Now, the husband, he died. So the wife, Naomi, was left there with her 2 sons. Well, each of the sons married a Moabite woman. But one of them married a really pleasant, nice young lady down the street called Ruth. Now, they were living their life, and both the sons died. So typically, the women would stay with the mother of the sons. But she released them and told them to go back to their families. But Ruth, she didn't even want her asking this. She wanted to stay with her. And she wanted to go back to her homeland. And she said she would go back to her homeland and worship her God and follow the laws of her God. So, Naomi and Ruth go back off to Bethlehem. Now, in that area, because they had left, Naomi had lost their land, so they had nowhere to live, no means to take care of themselves. But there was this young man who was very wealthy, and he happened to be a kinsman to Naomi's husband. His name was Boaz. And back in that day, the farmers would leave extra crop in the fields for the widows and for the poor to go and gather. Well, Ruth went out and she would get wheat from the field. Well, Boaz, he saw her, and he thought she was something special. So long story short, they end up getting married. Now, how does this play into our Jessie Tree and our time of going through the lineage of Christ? Well, you see this Moabite girl who marries Boaz, a man from Israel. They have a son, and his name is Obed. Obed gets married, and he has a son, and his name is Jesse. And if you don't know who Jesse is, stay tuned tomorrow where we find out exactly who Jesse is and the importance of his family. But think about this young Moabite girl who kept her heart open and saw the beauty in her mother-in-law and wanted to serve her mother-in-law and serve her God. And how this became a beautiful and wonderful story. This story can happen in our lives too. May God bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow.